Hello, today I'm very excited to share with you our new simple slide up email list building application. What we have here is our control panel. I want to show you a few things before we get started. And the first thing I like to show is that what we have here is what we call a built-in what you see is what you get, or WYSIWYG control panel. Now you'll notice that down here, after typing that in, those words show up. Real simple. I'm sure you've used several other Web 2.0 applications that do the same thing, and this works exactly like them. You want to change your font color, you click the little down arrow and make it red if you want. Simply, oops, you have to actually highlight it, sorry. Make it red. You want to put a black background behind that, you can do that. Or just tap on the actual background image and you're doing fine. You have all sorts of options. Font size, font family, paragraphs, styles, alignment for left, centered, right, or a justified alignment. You can make it bold or unbold, italicized, underlined. Really, really easy to use. You also have your choice of several colors. You can use no color, black, blue, gray, orange, which is what we started with, red, although if you're using red, of course, you're going to want to change your font color so that it stands out a bit, and white. Now coming back over here to the orange, which was our demonstration model, I'd like to show you that it does work in all three of the primary browser types. We have Chrome. I've created a demonstration page. You see the application slide right up, show your ad. Firefox, we just leave that there. Same thing. See, it slides right up. And then Internet Explorer. Internet Explorer is a little tricky. Sometimes you actually have to start a new browser session because this is only set up to run in one browser session. And while clearing your cookies and your recent history does work in Chrome and Firefox, you actually do, if you refresh this, like just by simply doing that, you can't just clear the cookies in Internet Explorer like you can with the others. You actually have to clear them. Actually, let's try it live on camera here. Let's just try a fresh browser session. You'll see that with a fresh browser session we have our tab back. Really easy to use. You can close it if they want to. And you'll notice there's no little tiny X over to the side. It's a really big red giant box. So there's not going to be any confusion about annoying pop-ups or slide up ads that they can't close because they can't find the words close in tiny little fonts at the bottom or the tiny little X that they've got off to the right on some of the applications. There's a big red box that says close. It's going to be really easy for them to find if they're not interested in your offer. Now, to make this even easier for you, I'm going to show you really quickly how to turn this into an opt-in box because obviously we want to use this to build our email list. Now to do this, I've created a few templates, and one of them is right here. I'm going to show you how they're used. And I've created a demo image even. Just simply copy. You'll notice there's no HTML or anything. It's just a table. Come over here to the HTML tab. Highlight all of this. Get rid of it. If you don't like the wording, don't worry. You can change it on your own. There we go. And you'll notice we have a nice little image right down here that I've created. I've created actually a series of sample images, but you'll notice they do say example on them because they're only meant for you to use as samples. However, they are transparent with PNG background of transparency settings so that you can actually use them on any one of these. So you'll notice that if I go to change this around, my image does stay there because it's transparent. I like the blue. So I think I'm going to stick with the blue. And enter your name and email to get started. Now, the only thing left for us to do is to actually put in an email field, or a name field, an email field, and then a submit button. And to do this, I'm going to log into my test account. I have several accounts for email list building. This is the one I use primarily for testing for Aweber. There we go. And we're going to go over here to Web Forms. Interesting things, my session has expired. There we go. Now, the test areas for WordPress Intense 2 and WordPress Intense 3 here, you can tell there's not a lot of opt-ins on them. The number 2 is my name and email. The number 3 is my just name or just email. We're going to start with the name and email, although your demos will have both options, because I realize that not everyone wants to use both name and email, and there is studies that have shown that just using email address does increase opt-ins. However, your choice is completely up to you. What we want to do is actually go through the process. If you've already got it set up, you can click to the publish. And if you're using Aweber, you can go, I will install my own form, raw HTML version. Now, before we continue, I want you to know if you're not using Aweber or if you need any help, most of the companies out there, the larger ones, iContact, Aweber, GetResponse, Mnyka, they have some kind of a tech support type of scenario, and that's exactly what I did, because I knew that I needed a generic form. I didn't need all this cascading style sheet fancy stuff. And the gentleman I spoke with earlier informed me that all I have to do is uncheck this box right here, and I'll get the raw code. Whoa. I'm going to copy that, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to create another HTML document. I'm going to put that in there, and now a lot of this has to be done within the actual section, and the words name and email have to work properly. So what we're going to do is I'm going to come down here, let's just copy this, put that above the table, and then for our first element, actually, copy this. I'm going to come over here, and I need to use this in the name field area, which is right here. You'll notice that it asks for the name, and you can even put in something like a break here if you want. Give it a little bit of a space in between, or double break maybe. That's not wanting that. There we go. And you might want to say something like first name. Now you can do this any way you want. I'm not telling you how to set things up, because it's completely up to you how you want them done. I'm just telling you how I'm setting things up for demonstration purposes. For this one, I'm going to call this primary email. And I am going to put a break there. Now we need the submit button. Add in this little NDIV here. And we do need our submit button. Which is going to go in this section. And then of course we're going to scroll down and get the rest of this to follow up the remaining end of the table. Now if this looks complex, don't worry, you can always use the templates, and you can go back at any point in time and watch this video over. It's not hard. It's really not. Just click HTML once you've edited the basic template and click update. You'll notice that your first name, primary email, and submit button are there. Click enter. And now they're down here. It's really, really simple. You could actually probably make these bold now that you've got them inside the control panel. Make them a larger font. Maybe even a 4. Make them black so they're easier to read. And this is what I like about the WYSIWYG control panel. They're really easy to work with. In situations like this, what if we want to move that over a little bit? Make this font black. Totally easy to use. Now all they have to do is enter in their first name, their email address, however you have it set up. You could even come back through here and pull out the actual widths. And the break elements. Sure, we've all seen this before. Where's the other break element? There it is. Update this. Let's see. 400. It seems to want, or at least with the Aweber form, it seems to want to leave it that way. And that's fine. Maybe even bring that down a bit. Whoa. Back that up. Give that a chance to refresh. There we go. I think I accidentally clicked the submit button. There we go. It's as easy as that. And you'll notice again, now that I've done this, I may have to actually open a new browser session because it disappears. With this one, because this is Firefox, I know that I can clear the recent history. While it's doing that, let me get the actual URL. Let's go like this. Clear history on all these. Clear browsing data. Clear history. With this one, again, we have to close this. I don't know why, but it does want that done. While that page loads, we're going to close this. Show you that the changes are live. So any change that you make is going to show up live in your new session. So now we have the image, same text, the form, the submit button, and then of course the close option. And we're blue instead of orange. Show this to you on Firefox and Internet Explorer as well. Notice that it's blue, slides up with the image, the text. You might want to move that over a little bit because apparently in Internet Explorer it does group them right next to each other, as does it with Firefox. That's not a problem. We can create an actual spacer. I'll put that in the templates so that you have a 20 pixel spacer between these. Really, really easy to use. But now here's the coolest part. You don't have to create any database of any sort. All you have to do is upload the file that says slide up and your sample index page. It's that simple. It really is. Slide up. Open up the actual file. Here it is. Slide up and index.html. That's all you have to upload. It was really that easy. Here it is. Index.html. There's no database. Just this file, folder, and this file. Just upload it and it's done. You don't have to create any MySQL. You don't have to do anything fancy. The one thing that I would recommend that you do after you've uploaded is log into your cPanel or whatever control panel you have and protect that one file. So if you can, depending on how your cPanel is set up, password protected directory. We want to open the control panel. This is the last step you're going to need, and then you'll have secure setup. Here we have the slide up. Password protect this directory. No password. Just as a demonstration. You can create usernames, whatever you want. Click Save. Let's see if that works or if we have to actually create a user. Let's create a session here. It does ask for a username and password. And it won't let me in there without it. So, say admin, password. Make sure that everything matches. Now they'll need admin and password to get in. So let's refresh that. Admin, password. Of course, you're going to want to set this up so that it works for you. But we've just secured the directory so that no one else can log in and just start changing things around for you. And you'll notice that it does remember things. So when you save them, remember that as well. If you're HTML savvy, adding in a spacer is really easy. Show you that real quick here. Between first name, width, let's say, I don't know, 15, and NBSP. Update that. And there we go. We have a space. Move that back up. And we're done. If you have any questions, send us an email. Thank you and have a great day.